Notice what it says then in 19, for thou wilt say unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, but who art thou that repliest against God? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? You don't like it that the physical people aren't God's chosen people? You don't like it that God raised up these physical people only for destruction? Well, you know what? It's God that raised them up. The potter hath power over the clay. You might not like it, but you know what? You're not God. And a lot of people don't like this teaching about replacement theology, but you know what? They're not God. Hey, you're like Paul. You want them all to be saved, but you know what? God raised them up for destruction. And that's what he's going to do, and you're just going to have to get over that. Now, thank God, according to Romans 11, any individual from Israel can be saved. But the people as a whole, okay, the people that are of the flesh, they will be destroyed. And it says, hath not the potter power over the clay, the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? That is what the physical people are. The vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory, even us, whom he hath called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles. We are the vessels of mercy that God has chosen. Okay? But the physical people of Israel, they are the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. Any Calvinist who would go and use this chapter to make it about choosing individuals for salvation is a fraud and does not know how to look at context in scriptures. But you know what? They've gotten away with it for decades because Baptists have jumped on the dispensationalism bandwagon. And they don't know how to preach the truth about Israel. And so you got these Calvinists, they have this stupid interpretation of this, but nobody knows how to call them out on it. And so they're like, well, I must have been right. I sure stumped Pastor Dispensationalism. You know, these guys, man, Gip had nothing to say about that. Man, I must be right on the money. Because we already know God chose some people for salvation and some not for salvation. We already know that, so this interpretation must be correct. Nobody's answering me. Well, you know what? I'm answering them. And they're frauds and abs just dead wrong and using, listen, even if you want to, you could convince me that Calvinism is correct, and you couldn't, but even if you could, I would never use Romans 9 to teach Calvinism. That would be foolish.